Hello, everyone. This is Marina, and welcome to For the Minions, episode 40.
And a special thank you to Sami for that beautiful introduction by Marina. This is, of course, For the Minions. I am your host, the NarGoose, but joining me, as always, is the ever so adorable MandiMal. Sup, bitch?
Aw, shucks. Nothing much. You know me, I'm always doing good and I'm always excited. We have a really good show this week, and we have another special returning guest host, the audio engineer, the newly promoted audio engineer for Ethereal, Mr. Tricolor Star. How are you?
I'm great. Always good to be back.
so
So many
appreciate
familiar
you.
faces. I see two of them.
Yes.
You'll see some familiar names, though,
it's
in the
gonna be
comments.
awesome.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us once again. We brought Tricolor in because he requested it, and I was like, of course not gonna turn Tricolor down, especially with all these amazing ethereal voice lines that have been getting uploaded.
These
How
juicy
is it to see the
voices.
fruits of your work being enjoyed by others now? It's been a long time coming.
It is. Oh my god, it is transcendental. It always makes me happy when people pick up on things that I purposely slipped in there. Like people got the Avatar reference for Leah very early on, and I'm like, this is why I love you guys.
That's awesome.
So it's always good to be here and always good to expose my work to the community.
It's always fun to expose yourself. So, just to refresh everybody, what was your what was your experience with Paragon? Since most of our fans are coming to us from Paragon.
Unfortunately, I only got to play a little bit of it before the servers got taken down. But in that short time, I was a Muriel and Aurora main because I have no self-control. And I loved the game a lot. The sound design was really good. I was so happy when they announced that the free assets would be on the Unity Marketplace. Of course, so I downloaded those and immediately got lost. So, yeah, but I like the game a lot, and I'm really happy that there's so many people trying to make successors or remakes of it because it was a good game, and Fortnite took it away from us. So they must pay.
Damn you, Fortnite.
That's right.
So let's move on now. Let's go into the news and updates. We don't have anything for Metabuff or Visionary, but we will be talking about Ethereal, mainly that they've got more voice lines up. We didn't get to talk about it last time because they uploaded the Malaya. Who did they upload? Malaya and Malware after we had recorded for the last For the Minions. I did include them in the show, but we hadn't heard them yet. And then Leah was Leah. How do you say that, Tricolor? Leah or Leah? Leah was the last one that they uploaded. So these are all amazing and really cool, and we have the perfect guest to talk about them. So Leah is the one that got uploaded the closest. Do you have what went into her voice to make her sound like the Jungle Queen?
So the actress I've worked with is Latin, and so she can do a South American accent pretty easily. Of course, you have to tell her that's what you want because typically she'll record with a very modern, very elegant voice. So I was like, I need this to be Amazon Queen, warrior princess. I need it to be thick. So something that I was disappointed about in the voice line video is that the music is so loud. Whenever Leah speaks, she has rainforest sounds in her voice.
Oh, really?
So as she speaks, you can hear rain and bird songs and trees creaking as she speaks.
Oh, that's
But
amazing.
the music's too loud, so you can't really hear it. Yeah, so I'm hoping that once she actually comes out, or the full video comes out for the website, you'll be able to hear it without the music. Because as she gets louder, the bird song gets louder. So when she ults, she'll say the line, you'll hear the bird song behind it. It's very
That
pretty.
is amazing. That's a great idea to include that into her voice line. Really bring the jungle out. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Mandy, did you
think
get a
that's
chance
really
to listen to
gonna
the
help
lines?
I did. They were really cool, and I was thinking because I know it was mentioned while we were doing the interview that we have later that the girl who does Marina was actually originally going to do Leah, correct?
Yes, and then the girl who was doing Leah was originally going to do Marina.
And I think that switch was such a good idea. Now that I've heard both of them, it was so amazing. But as you were talking about having those kind of ambient sounds going along with her voice, I didn't notice them in the video. I think because, like you said, with the music, but that's going to really help with immersion, I think. And that was something that I really enjoyed about Paragon. Even though Paragon didn't have voice lines, there was still somehow they pulled off just amazing immersion, and I think that's really going to help that kind of ambient noise that goes along with certain characters. And you're so talented and just really blown away by the work that you guys have put into these voice lines.
Thank you.
They are
And we've heard your work on the voice lines. We haven't heard any of the sound effects that you're going to be doing now, though. I'm kind of interested to hear some of that. I'm sure that'll be a little down the line, but if you put half as much work into those as you did these voice lines, I'm sure they will be amazing. Man. So, and I think that's that was really the immersive part of Paragon, is the sounds really matched up when they needed to.
So good.
I think I mentioned, like, sometimes you don't want things to match up exactly. Like, you don't want to hear a squelching, bloody, ripping, tearing noise when Fing Mao hits you with a spear. Like, that would just be very off-putting. You want it, but like the clang that you heard, I think that was like on point. So, I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, on the topic of sound effects, we actually revealed 2 of the sound effects in the fan Discord. One from Malware and one from Alaya. But it was secret. It's not in the announcement channel.
Ooh, really?
Ooh, so you had to dig for it.
So it bypassed
Yeah, I
me.
thought everyone knew.
I usually catch everything.
Yeah.
Well done.
I was like, why isn't Mongoose on top of this? You must have been busy. That's the only explanation, is that you were busy.
Yeah, I've been very busy lately. That's why I haven't been able to do as much content creation as I would like. Speaking of, I know I said I was going to do a video on the kind of impromptu Ethereal community corner. I'm still going to do that. I just need to find that time. But another one happened. Another one happened Monday after they released the Leah voice lines. I think it was 35 people in the voice chat, and then several people in the Discord. I was only able to be there for a little bit because I was very tired and had to go to sleep. Also, I've discovered why it's so hard not to leak things, because I know a lot of stuff about the lore that I shouldn't know. And like, when people say certain things like, I don't like how this is this way, I think it should look this way, and I know why it does, it's so hard not to like just explain it to them so they understand. So I had to kind of get out of it.
I'm leaking stuff all the time. That's why I left too. I was like, because I said something, and Owen, I think it was either Owen or Knox, was just like, hey, they don't know about that yet. And I was like, so I totally understand.
Harder not to leak than I thought. But
get some flex tape.
Yeah, guys, join their Discord. If you're interested in Ethereal, join their Discord and just keep an eye out. And they haven't really set a time for these or a schedule. Like I said last time, it was I kind of started it on accident by just hanging out in their voice chat and harassing Owen. But yeah, definitely get in there. They'll answer anything. And if you're too shy to talk, or if more likely there's just way too many people talking at once, you can type out your question and it will get eventually addressed. Just make sure you bring it to their attention. So that's very cool stuff. And they were also playing games. I think they played a custom game of League of Legends, and Tricolor missed out on it.
I know, I was there. It was bad. Okay, you know what? This is not a League of Legends podcast, so we won't talk about it. Well, it'll take me to a dark place, very dark place.
Mandi, any comments about the community corners that they've been having? I call them community corners. I don't know what they want to call them.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get in on one. I know you let me know about the last one, but I've actually been, I have a old back injury that rearing its ugly head. So I've been like bedridden. I'm just like in bed all the time. This is the first time I've been out of bed in like 3 days. So I missed out on that, unfortunately.
That's weird because I'm the one that's usually carrying you. I would think I would be the one.
You're
the
cute.
Back injury.
You're cute. You're real cute.
Mad.
Do you see what I put up with?
Let's move on from Ethereal to Omega Studios. They were just talking about how difficult the minion AI is. We mentioned last time that they've got the minions in there and they've been testing them out a little bit, but like the siege minions weren't attacking, and it was just a big clusterfuck in the middle. But they were just talking about there's a lot of environmental like the minions have to interact with so many parts of the environment and so many things in the game, towers and heroes, and like a player isn't controlling that has to all be controlled by AI. So that's going to be extremely difficult for them to implement, but they are going to be doing all that testing this week. That is not the last thing that they have to do though. They have to re-implement like the mini map and the scoreboard and some other stuff as well. I'm not sure about their items, if they have their actives working yet or not, but they still have a ways to go before their alpha is once again made public. But they're on the right track. They're heading there, and it's good to see. Mandi, anything to say about Predecessor?
I mean, that makes a ton of sense. What you were saying about how the minions interact and how their AI interacts with so much more in the game than people probably realize. So it makes a ton of sense that that's going to take a lot of tedious work, and I would imagine a lot of troubleshooting, because that's something they might come up with some crazy bug that you don't know about until you really get in a few games. So I think Smokey is he just has a good intuition about when to fine tune things and when to just put it out and let the community get their hands on it and fiddle with it. So I'm looking forward to it, as always. Looking forward to Predecessor always.
Tricolor, anything to say about Predecessor? Seems like Undying and Omega are kind of like sister producers now. like they're doing very different games, but they seem to enjoy each other's company.
I see Smokey pop up in the Discord a lot, and I'm like, why does that guy look familiar? And then I realized that he's the director of Predecessor, and I was like, oh. But on the topic of like minion programming, it makes a lot of sense, because minions have, it depends on how you're programming the minions to be like separate objects, or if they're going to follow each other. Mm-hmm. And following each other is like its own can of worms.
They come in bags too. Worms come in all sorts of
bags. They had to perform lots of small checks, like sometimes hundreds a second, just to make sure they're not colliding with things and they're on the right track. And if they if they deviate from a check, it that deviation's carried over to the next check, and then that one's carried over to the next check. And soon they're not in lane anymore. They're in the jungle fighting Baron. So minions are some of the hardest things to code in the game, because they had to be consistent every single time. They can never not be that. But I've heard some good things coming out of Predecessor. As always, there's a lot of Paragon like games coming out, so we always have respect for our competitors and sister producers. So hopefully they get a working alpha back public soon, so they can do some like public bug testing. So
and that's going to be it for Omega and Meta. Like I said, MetaBuff and Visionary, we got nothing for them this week. So that brings us over to the poll results. Oh my god, this poll very polarizing poll this week. It was Gideon versus Steel. Gideon won 66% to 34%. Even though there were far more votes for Gideon, there were way more comments about how people thought Steel should be the winner. There was definitely some feelings hurt and some anger stoked here. People got pretty mad over this one. It kind of makes me wonder what's going to happen when we get to the very end and square the last two off. But yeah, even Sylphan weighed in. It was good to hear from Sylphan. But Sylphan's vote was Steel. He said that Gideon requires setup, so execution was only based on reacting to a good initiation and waiting for the enemy to burn their counter, where Steel's ult required positioning, timing, awareness of everything, etc., etc. I think that's a pretty good point. Gideon couldn't just jump in and ult. I mean, he could in the later stages of the game whenever he had the stun attached to it, but even then, he had to be very aware of what was going on. Like, and as Sylphan said here, make sure that the enemy has already burned their counter. Otherwise, he's just going to get interrupted and is done for. Whereas Steel didn't really need. He could use his ult to set up a Gideon ult, and I think there's a few comments about that too. Like, that was the perfect combo, especially in Legacy, was the Gideon and Steel ult combo, especially if you could land the Steel ult after the Gideon ult and everybody got piled up on top of Gideon's head and then just burned down and they couldn't do anything about it. But yeah, that was good stuff. Mandi, how'd you vote? Did you vote for Steel or Gideon?
I did vote for Steel because of what you said, that Gideon could be interrupted fairly easily. And I saw it happen a lot. So I just felt like Steel was in this particular competition between these two. I felt like Steel was a little bit more impactful on the game. So. But apparently you're wrong. Us Steel supporters, we are few, but we are vocal.
Tricolor, did you have anything to weigh in on this?
I didn't know the vote was happening, but if I was around, I would have voted for Gideon. Mostly because I just liked Gideon more.
Yeah.
Like, Steel's cool because he's like, a guardian, a tank. But Gideon's Gideon. Literally just throws a rocket like an asteroid at people. So like, you really can't. His description is like something like on his like 5th birthday, he witnessed the death of a star and fell in love. So come on. That's like, but I could see why they would want to do Steel first. Steel is like a basic flavor of character you need to have in the game before you add someone like Gideon in. Like, you got to have your basic tank, you got to have your basic mage, you got to have your basic support, like you got to have that kind of stuff. And Steel, I think, fits the pretty like round, all around tank character. But it doesn't shock me that Gideon won because Gideon's awesome. So
I of course cannot vote on my own poll, but I would have voted for Steel. Let's move on now to the highlight reel for this week. Running low on highlights, I had to dig into my own again. I'm going to run out soon, so if you guys do have highlights and you want to see them on the show, send them over to me. It was 2 episodes back. I think it was FTM 38 is when I showed you how to upload them to Google Docs, so you can send me a link if you have them stored somewhere on your computer or your PS4. But yeah, right now let's get on over to the highlights. Ja Rule shows us here that you don't have to have great aim to make a great play. I'm sure I'm going to catch hell for that one. But he comes in to assist his team. He's using Trapper. Now he's using Trapper to lock people in place, and it's also helping to save his team. Fing Mao just had no chance there, because if he can't get close to Murdoch, he can't deal that damage. And he got rooted in place because he got shot enough times, because Murdoch is, of course, building agility. He has that attack speed as well. And I mean, Murdoch gets wasted trying to come in and do something. Steel knows that he's in trouble. He's going to back out. However, Countess is going to come in. The buckshot misses, but it's still, he gets away with just barely a sliver of health. And Iggy and Scorch comes in to finish off Steel, and they make the full team wipe. I absolutely love creative card usage, and that's what we're going to see right here. Wraith gets knocked out by Howitzer, but he uses the Bring It Back with a static trap. That static trap activated just in time to catch Howitzer on the edge. Now they're going to duke it out. Dodging shots, Wraith is, and he takes out Howitzer. Pops surprise, surprise, just in time to avoid the snipe from Murdoch, and he gets away just fine. The blue team has the Orb Prime buff, and they're looking for Blood. Shimby pushed way up. She's going to get taken down, but they gathered up to kill Shimby and got blasted in the face with a huge chesticles from Richter. Wraith popping people down before Richter can pull them. They trade one Shimby for a full team wipe. and a win of the video game. That was a hell of a good trade, I would say. Rest in pepperonis, poor little Shinbi. Now we see at the start of this fight, Shinbi is pushed up really far, and Narbash starts his ultimate on her. However, she has Gag Order, immediately silences him, and now he's taking extra damage. She's popping her Spirit Wolves, she's using the Circle Rhythm, and watch as they all gather up to kill this Shinbi. They do get the kill on her, but they're all taking damage from her AoE, as well as the rest of the blue team, and then they set themselves up perfectly for the Chesticles blasts 3 members, and lets Murdoch just tee off and do them dirty. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the highlight reel, but now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes here, what you've all been waiting for, the interview with Somniatic, the voice actress for Marina. Let's go ahead and roll it. Okay, for the Minions crew, we've got a Tricolor set us up an interview with the voice actress for Marina. Her name is Sami. She is amazing. If you check out her YouTube channel, you can see her doing everything from just covers of various animes, cartoons, and games to singing in front of a full orchestra, and I think playing the flute. Sami, were you playing the flute?
I haven't played in 2 years, but a little bit.
Well, it was great. It was absolutely amazing. But yes, you guys know her best as the voice of Marina for Undying Games is Ethereal. Ethereal just went above and beyond with their voice lines, and most of us are used to kind of like just really flat readings of the voices with, heavy modulation afterwards. And you seem to really impart a lot of character into the character, as they say. So no really question here. I just wanted to say that and compliment you to start out with.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I work on my character acting.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, just to start off with.
I have been voice acting I started on YouTube in 2011, and I've been doing it ever since. I kind of just upgraded myself through various microphones and statuses during the years, and it's just I've gotten more advanced. Used to just do stuff for fun. Now I do some stuff for pay. And on the side of that, I'm a music student majoring in voice. And I'm a sophomore, so I'm just kind of, getting my way in life.
Right on. So is voice acting something you've always wanted to do, or?
I'm very conflicted because I want to be an opera singer, very rare career. But I also love voice acting, so I'm very split. But both the careers are never one thing that you just do without doing something else. So in the future, I hope to have it divergence where I can do both of those things.
That sounds like a very different career path than anyone has ever taken before.
Yes, I'm a opera singer / voice actor. You can hear me in video games. You can also hear me in Turandot.
That's amazing.
In Ethereal and in Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yes.
So have you worked on any other games?
So far I'm in one visual novel that's coming out. An alpha's coming out soon called Bandcamp Boyfriend. Trying to think of other things I've done so far. A lot of the other things are audio plays. So far not too many video games, but I've done some fan things, like voice packs for specific video games. Do you want me to plug you?
I just think it's cool because I've known you for 3 years. It's awesome.
I work with a specific individual who makes voice packs for a certain video game made by Riot, where we make voice packs that you can install into the game that add specific voices to different skins that don't have voices pertaining to the skins line.
Well, whoever he is, he sounds awesome. We'll never know.
I did notice some Urgot gameplay on your YouTube channel.
Oh, on mine?
Yes.
Oh my! Wait. Oh, I wasn't the Urgot. I was the Nami.
Oh, okay.
I was the one who. I was. The one
I was like.
I thought we shared a love of fat hookers.
Somni is a light girl who means Janna, Nami, Morgana, Zaya, and most likely now Nico.
You really brought the zoom of Nico.
I did.
So that kind of answers a question that I had for you, Sami, which is if you are a gamer and enjoy playing games, so it sounds like you do.
Very much.
Oh, that's
we play
amazing.
League together like every night.
I love
so
it.
Fun.
So that was the next question was how did you get the ethereal role? But it seems like you know the right people.
Actually,
She had an in.
we were. Oh, he's more of my director when we started. If you know League of Legends, they had the whole skin line, the Star Guardians, and I voiced Star Guardian Syndra and Janna for him. And I just kind of branched out from there, and I started doing more voices for him. And overall,
Every voice.
Yeah, I do a lot. I do a lot
Her
of really
range
good
is
impressions.
insane.
I do many
like
good impressions.
honestly
for
crazy.
I can do
like
champion, like name one.
So good. It's like if you give her like a time frame, like Samini, I need Urgot in 3 days. She's like, okay, I'll do it in 2.
But I wouldn't do Urgot. I would not do
I was
Urgot.
gonna say.
I would do Urgot in 5 minutes.
I need to hear this.
But,
My
she's
Urgot?
just really cool.
Oh, I can do anything but Urgot.
Anything but Urgot. Samini's just she's a cool gal, and she's very talented, can do pretty much any female voice you need. So like, hint hint, anyone's watching this who needs a female voice actress, you
Oh, wink.
wink.
I'll say it in the Marina voice. Hire me if you need a voice actress. I am right here.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's so fun.
Love
It's
it.
so
Yes.
funny how like it's just your speaking voice,
It
but
really is.
taken up to like its natural extreme.
I like to think of it as my speaking voice if I was speaking to someone who wanted to hire me, or if I was working at a restaurant trying to please people.
So it's like
Hello,
it's like
Marina.
phone
I
voice
took your order.
almost.
Hello, you've reached the phone call of Marina. I'm not here right now, but please call again soon.
Oh my gosh, now I want you to be my voicemail message.
I will do that. When I have the time, I will record Marina voice messages. You're having a text. A text is arriving. Ebb and flow of the text.
My gosh. I love it. I am fangirling.
Thank you.
So, did you read the lore for Marina prior to recording, or did they just like give you like this is kind of what we need from this character sort of thing?
He gave me the basis of a character and more of like their voice type, and I think I kind of developed the character for myself mostly. I mean, we know some specific things about their lore that kind of shape their abilities and what their voice lines are and their like interactions with other characters. Like that's what I started with. Like I asked, why does Marina say it's water, Talos? Water is good. And then I was told it's because Talos does not like to bathe. And I'm like, well, the more you know about other people. So I actually recently learned all about her, and her lore is very interesting. I think it's very intriguing. I don't know if I'm like allowed
Absolutely
to say
not.
that. Yeah, so all I'll say is that she is welcome to a new world, and she's embracing it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I have read the lore, and the impression I get from Marina is that she's sort of young, curious, and adventurous, yet still has that sense of purpose and duty. And I think you captured that extremely well in her voice lines. I'm amazed that you did that without having read the lore prior to that.
Thank you. I thought of her as like Ariel, but if Ariel wasn't stupid. Ariel was a little bit older and a little bit more mature, and she was like, yeah, capable. Like, she wants to know things, but she isn't going to be like, I'm going to leave my entire family to do that. Like, yeah, she's smart about what she does.
By the way, Ursula skin for Urgot. Let's go.
Ursula skin for a run. Let's go.
What I live for.
It's what I do. It's what I live for.
So, would you play Marina in the game, or do you gravitate towards like other types of myths?
Oh no, I gravitate for Marina because I main Nami, and a lot of their skills are very similar. Like the healing, like I'm kind of a heal. Like that's my thing. Besides the occasional Miko and Zaya, I always like to heal people.
Oh, right on.
She's a really good support.
Thank you.
And that's what Marina. She's a cleric. Right on.
And like she's a water cleric. Like that's my thing. water and clerics. It's just, it comes to me.
Just right up your alley.
Well, that's awesome that you got
Water
to
that just-
voice a character that you probably will play in the game. That's amazing.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Do you
it's-
get like, does it sound strange to hear yourself, or are you kind of used to it?
I always find it a little bit cruel, more than
Yeah.
strange, because I hear it from the voice packs that I do for League of Legends, where I'll just be like, "Oh, this is kind of a cute interaction." I was like, "Oh wait, that's me. I said that," and then I like talk along with it, like, "Oh, what's one of the Nico lines from the Winter show?"
Nico give Zaya a hug. 2 hugs.
Nico, a hug, many hugs. Like I just speak along with it. It's a really fun thing to hear yourself, because you're like, I did that. It's neat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, one thing I've heard about voice actors is that you often have like a word or a phrase that you will say to get back into character after you have been voicing them for a while. Do you have something like that for Marina?
No,
Mine-
Emily,
I-
Somni, don't.
What?
You will not know that Tommy was so Nico.
Oh, that's my Nico. That's not Marina. No, for Marina.
Funny. Oh, okay, sorry.
Well, to get into Marina, I literally just say her name. Like, you know, when you choose a myth, you just say like it says their name, like they announce themselves. That kind of just gets me into it. So I'll just be like, me, Somni, Marina. Oh, I'm here.
Very cool. Very cool. So,
I have
go ahead, try.
tons of takes of her as sorry, I think I'm lagging behind a bit, but I have like tons of takes of her slipping out of her Nico voice and then getting back into it by doing a Tommy was so impression. You know, oh hi Mark, like, and it's the most jarring thing. It is
Of all
I did not
people.
hit her. It's not true. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's crazy. Love it.
You've still never made a video of that. You've never done a
I
video
will
with my voiceover.
never let anyone hear that. I will never, ever, ever,
You
ever.
just did.
Yeah.
It's 2 a.m. It's all quiet. I'm just working on Nico, and I, get done with the lines. And all of a sudden, I hear, with all the effects, all the echoes and everything, "Oh hi, Mark." I pooped myself. I was so scared.
I'm sorry. You enjoyed it, though. I know you secretly enjoyed it.
No.
Okay, I guess you didn't.
So we've established that you kind of do gravitate towards cleric class and Marina and that. Have you looked at any of the other myths from Ethereal and thought that you would like to voice them as well, or anything like that?
Am I allowed to say about my past voicing for Ethereal?
Yeah.
So in the past, originally I was supposed to be voicing for Leah.
Oh.
And actually, Leah's voice actress was supposed to be voicing for Marina. But after I had recorded all of the lines for Leah, I was told that I should actually be voicing Marina instead. So I was like, I just recorded over 300 lines, but that's okay. It's totally fine. But I actually ended up liking Marina a lot more because she's like a vocal character. Like, I think in some abilities she uses her voice, like, and I'm utilizing my ability to sing for it, and it feels great to like have a character that I can sing with.
Oh, that's great. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But I feel like it would be fun to voice Nikolai, though it's not me.
Oh my
I'm not
gosh.
Nikolai. That is not me. It would be fun.
It might be a fun challenge.
I don't even know what Nikolai says. I just know that we're gonna have great duets.
Oh.
Oh God. Yeah. I know the voice actor for Nikolai. I have no idea what his voice for him is. So
It's the funniest character, like hands
Oh.
down.
oh my God, we're gonna have to see. We'll find out.
So, a lot of people, a lot of my viewers are kind of interested in looking into voice acting themselves. Is there any advice you could give them? Like, are there any books or online courses that they can look into? And do you need to record in a studio or can you record at home?
It all depends. Like if you're starting, the best way to start is just at home using a microphone. Like even if it's not good quality, you can use a phone microphone. You can download free programs like Audacity and just like record into that. It's very simple. You just click the red record button and you do that. And there's a really good website called Casting Call Club that I used to be a part of. I used to actually be a moderator on the website. I just got very busy, where they have tons of casting calls. They're all mostly fan projects. Some of them are paid, some of them are more freelance worthy that you can audition for. And it's just like collaborators of artists, actors, and directors that are all coming together. And it's a really good place to start, especially that's where I started.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I'll definitely I'll look that up and link it somewhere down in the video description so people can look into that.
Yeah, and they do have some classes on there as well that you can take monthly. I think they're paid, but they're not too much money. You're definitely getting so much experience from them. I believe at one point we had Rachel Messer, who's been in a lot of anime. We had one of the voice actors from Friday Night at Freddy's. I don't even know if I did the title right for that. But yes, that Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, we had the voice actor for that, and it's just a lot of good things to learn if you want to like about it. But it's definitely a good place to start, and you don't need a big studio. Like you can record with the $50 to $100 microphone, maybe even a $20 one. Just put a blanket over your head. It's totally fine.
Put a blanket over your head. That's the main thing that I'm going to pull away from all of that.
You know what? It actually covers it covers a lot of the room sound.
Yeah.
There's times where Emily's like, "Try. I'm getting a lot of like feedback on my mic. What do I do?" And I'm like, "You put a sock over that mic, and if that doesn't work, you put 2 socks over that mic."
I didn't try the second sock, and that's my fault.
Huh. Tips from the pros.
Use the blanket and a sock.
I think it's important.
That sounds like my average Saturday night.
Blanket over head. On the mic.
And it just clicked.
Oh yeah, it clicked. It clicked all right.
So
I'm just gonna go lay down and die.
Let me get back on track here. Have you ever tried to, or do you have any desire to do screen or live acting?
Actually, because of my whole thing with opera, I've done a lot of like on-stage acting, and I've been in a lot of musical theater as well. So I have experience with that. I don't think I've ever really been in a movie. I think it'd be fun. I sure would love to try it. I always had like a need to try doing cosplay. And I think it'd be fun to like do a cosplay video, but I'm not quite sure about movies because my memory is, when it does not come to music. Like I can't remember left from right, probably.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a requirement.
Oh, big requirement.
So, who's your favorite character that you've ever voiced, like ever?
Oh, here we go.
Are we counting just original characters or characters from shows, animes?
Just anything.
I love voicing Nico more than I love myself.
Aww.
And also Marina as well, because Marina is just like, I own her basically. My voice is hers. She is me. And it's cool to say that you have someone that's just like has the exact same voice as you, and it's like you can say on the street, yeah, I did that. Like people could see me and be like, "You're the voice for Marina. Can you say this line in her voice?" And I'll be like, "Yes, I can."
Yeah, that has got to be crazy. Like, I mean, that probably will happen if this game is extremely successful. People will be asking you to voice Marina for them.
Oh, I really hope so. Because this game, it has such an innovative structure. It's really just straying away from MOBAs. Like it is near like what Paragon was, but it's like really, I just love how intuitive it is and like the laning and everything. As someone who plays like, I've played a lot of MOBAs in the past. No, I did not like Dota, but I played a lot of MOBAs in the past, and I just really enjoy this concept. Like, I don't entirely understand it yet, but I really want to learn. And I hope that the fans will as well.
I hope so too.
Sounds like Marina investigating a new world.
I'm so excited to learn. I think it's going to be excellent.
That's so cool. I love it so much. Okay, I think that's all the questions I had. Before we go, plugs. Sami, would you want to plug your YouTube channel, anything like Twitch, anything like that?
I wish I streamed. I have no time for it. You can follow me on Twitter at SomniaVA. Actually, no, it's okay. Long story.
Lyrical lady.
I wanted my name on Twitter to be at the Lyrical Lady. So I accidentally forgot one L. So now it's the Lyrica Lady, like the medication. So it's Lyrica, that's me. I don't even know what the medication's for, but that's what I am.
Insomnia. It's for insomnia.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's
I thought you did that on
because you're
purpose.
so soothing.
Yeah, then let's say I did that on purpose. Let's just say I did that on purpose. Totally did that on purpose. Yeah, so you can follow me on Twitter at the Lyrica Lady. And you can follow me on YouTube at Somniatica. I will tell them how to spell it because some people find it very difficult.
I'll have it all linked in the video description as well.
I don't use too much other social media. I guess if anyone wants, I'll link my League of Legends name if someone wants to friend me on there too. I'm not that good, but I will play Nami and only voice it as Marina. But that's all my plugs, I suppose.
Right on. Mandi, did you have any final questions before we conclude?
I don't have any questions, but I definitely want to say thank you so much. I was fangirling so much and so nervous for this interview because Marina is she was my favorite of all the voice lines. So I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we get to talk to Marina. So thank you so much.
Oh my god, it was a pleasure. I'm so happy that you guys chose me to be in the interview because I love talking about what I do. And I'm really glad that people are actually enjoying my voice and not just getting annoyed.
Oh.
A part of me feels like I made her sound too perfect. I did not want to key on a situation.
All right, great. Well, thank you for coming out. And that's we're going to start talking about the interview a little bit more once we resume For the Minions.
I do want to say that we do have a recording somewhere of Somni saying, "Hi, it's Marina back at it again."
I don't
with Krispy
have it
Kreme.
yet, but I'll say it live if I need to.
She said it. She starts out saying, "Hi," it's in her normal voice, and then when she says Marina, she transitions into the Marina voice, and it's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Do you want me to do it right now?
Are we recording right now?
I'm always recording. I'm never not recording.
You should totally do it right now, Somni.
You sure you want me to do it right now?
I would love you forever.
Hey y'all, it's Marina, back at it again at the Krispy Kreme.
Oh my god, that was amazing!
Oh my god, that was so cool.
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that interview. For the topic for discussion, we're gonna talk a little bit about the interview. But first, a lot of those questions came from you guys, and but some of the questions you asked were more in the line of what Tricolor does than what Somni does. So let's ask him those questions right now. Starting off with, what kind of techniques are used to get the best sounds, and how much is technology used to change those original sounds?
So, wow, right out the gate. So, there's something called best practices that we do in the audio industry, and the quote unquote best practices changes depending on what game or product you're working on. Because some games might not really care about the overall leveling or volume of lines, but some games like MOBAs, they all need to be a consistent volume because they're all going to be of equal importance. So the first thing I'll do when I get a voice from an actor, whether it be an audition voice or the actual voice lines, if it wasn't recorded in my own studio, I have a series of tools that I run it through to clean it and bring it up to professional standards, because I use Isotope, which is the industry standard. That's the one that only the best of the best use. But so I'll denoise it, which is I'll do a voice-based denoise, which cleans and scrubs the ambient noise around where they're speaking, and you have, of course, that's like you have to adjust the settings for each voice because every voice and microphone and environment is different, and those are really the two things to take into account, like what kind of voice is this, what kind of mic are they using, and where are they recording. Those are like my three things. So like if they're recording in a closet with a pop filter and a sock over the microphone, I'm going to be like, hey, this is going to need like a little bit more love than someone's like $3,000 Shure 89 condenser mic would need. But using the right techniques, you can make mics sound so similar to each other that people, unless they're like really digging, won't be able to tell the difference between audio recorded on different microphones. And something that I like to do is I like to make sure all of the characters have their own set of effects. So like Malware has his own glitch effects, and Marina has her own water like effects in her voice, and then all of those effects are bundled in like effects that all of the characters have. So they all share the same like echo, and they all have the same compressor, so they all sound the same.
Okay.
Even if they have those different effects.
Now, are there any sort of like free or a little less expensive programs that people can use if they're just starting out and sound engineering is something they want to look to get into?
Well, if you're looking to be a voice actor and like sound engineer your voice, I would recommend Audacity, simply because Audacity is free and it's open source. So any plugin that you can get that would work with like Ableton or FL Studio or Pro Tools will work in FL Studio. I mean, not FL Studio, will work in Audacity. So you can like, if you get auto-tune, it'll work in Audacity. That's like the beauty of the thing. It's so lightweight. It's free. It has a lot of tools built in. It's got your noise reduction. It's got your limiter. There's a learning curve with audio engineering because it's not really something a lot of people do. But there's a lot of like learning resources. There's if you're looking for sound effects or music production, there's a YouTube channel called FL Studio Guru that I've worked with sometimes, and they teach you specifically FL Studio, but skills that you learn in one software will transition to another because they're all the same. Sound is sound, no matter how you slice it. So although each software might have a different way of calling it or a different way of achieving it, you can always get the same results on every single platform.
Right on. And Audacity, that's what I use too. So it's very, very easy.
Yeah,
to
Audacity's
use,
awesome
for just like the basic stuff that you want to do. Like I just use a basic noise reduction on all of my audio and stuff like that. So very, very easy to use, very easy to pick up if you guys want to look into that.
It is Goose approved.
It is.
Goose approved. There's also most like professional sound engineering softwares like FL Studio and Ableton and stuff have like demos or trials, and you can some of them up to like 60 days or some insane amount like that. Yeah, so you can like download that. I think the FL Studio one you can use as much as you want, you just can't save.
Okay, right on.
So like, yeah, so like there's a lot of free options.
Cool. So another question they had was, how long does it take to equip a character with a full set of voice lines?
Oh my god.
I guess it probably depends on the character, huh?
Just really hit me deep. That was a deep cut. So some characters are talky, and some characters are complex, and some characters have effects, and it all really depends on the character. But if it's like a very basic sounding character like Talos, I can get a voice like Talos done in about a week if it's all I'm working on. Because Talos has like 120 voice lines, so he's a little below the average simply because his character doesn't allow for a whole lot of talking, and his effects are very basic. A lot of his lines are front loaded into his abilities, so it's like it was super easy to get there and do it. But then on the other side of things, Malware took forever. Malware took a month and a half, simply because so you have to clean the voice, you have to get the voice into your preferred editing software, you have to find the effects that work, you have to make sure those effects sound good across the whole voice, and then you have to make sure the voice fits with the standards of the rest of the voices in the game. Then You have to split all those voice lines into like separate files, organize them. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I think we actually have a character that's being revealed next week that actually took the record from Malware for the longest
Uh-oh.
voice, because there's a twist. He's not alone, if you know what I
Oh,
mean.
shit.
So but I'm not gonna spoil anything else in that regard, but he should be one of the next ones coming out, and he made me want to rip my hair out. Like I was like, oh my god, because that one required like 3 different sets of effects, like 3 different. Like I had to affect it, export it, put it back in, affect it, export it, because the chain was so complex, it just wouldn't work any other way.
Oh, juicy info. I don't even know about this. Ooh.
Full of secrets.
So that was all the questions they had. So let's talk about this interview a little bit. Mandi, you developed quite the crush on Somni, eh?
Yes, I don't know. I didn't know it was possible to develop a crush on someone from their voice alone, but it is. I can tell you, it is. Yeah, I just me and Try were kind of talking during a break, and when her voice lines were revealed, I felt a click, if that makes sense. Like I was like, this is a character I am into just from hearing her voice. And it was funny because when she was like first revealed and we first saw pictures of her, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's really cool. But her voice brought her to life for me, and definitely looking forward to trying her out in game. And Somni is just crazy talented in more ways than just voice acting. She's a singer as well. She's just incredible. And yeah, it was amazing. I was totally fangirling from the minute Goose told me that we not only were we doing an interview with one of the voice actors, but it was one of my favorite characters that had been released so far. So I was like totally fangirling and just had an incredible time with the interview.
And it has been adorable. Mandi really does have a little girl crush. So how long have you known Somni? How long have you worked with her, Tricolor?
Oh, I've worked with Somni almost 3 years now.
Wow.
It's a long relationship. I actually forget about when I like where or what I met her. I was doing voice packs for League, and we were doing Star Guardian voice packs, which are very like they're very popular with the community. And she could do both Syndra and Janna, which are like opposite voices. Syndra is very deep and Janna's very light and high pitched. And I was like, okay, so that's blowing my mind right now. But you know, whenever you do a project with a voice actor and like the project's very successful, you two tend to keep in touch just in case things like, you know, things pop up again. It's to your mutual benefit. And through that keeping in touch, we just became friends. And as more projects were coming out and she was getting more roles, I was like, okay, so this is someone that needs to be like in my close circle. Like this is a not only a friend but an asset. And when Marina was pitched to me, I because at first Somni was going to voice Leah, and honestly the choice of switching the two was obvious in hindsight. But it's really strange to be like, yeah, I've been working here for 3 years. 3 years already. Like where does the time go? You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, she's very talented. Marina actually has vocalization in some of her lines and abilities, and so Somni really was able to get the opera, like she was able to use her opera experience. So your ears are going to be pleased in game.
You guys really work exceptionally hard to bring the to meld the voice lines with the lore. If you guys don't know, you probably know already, but I do a lot of the final edits for the lore for Ethereal, so hopefully everybody will have that lore in their hands pretty soon. But I've already read
Yeah.
a vast majority of it, so just when you hear the voices and you know the story, it is so cool how these voice actors were able to impart so much feeling and emotion into these characters that really fits in with their lore. I'm so excited for you guys to be able to, even if you don't like lore, I think you're going to want to look into the to Ethereal's lore, especially if you enjoy these voice lines. It brings everything together. It's something that Paragon did not have. I mean, that's what this whole journey has been about, is finding a replacement for Paragon. I've been saying from the beginning that I think Ethereal could be not just a replacement, but an even better version of Paragon. And with these voice lines, it will definitely outshine Paragon in that department, because Paragon didn't have any fucking voice lines. So, like I said last week,
Tragic.
they just did 90 seconds of each voice line, but it was 90 seconds more than Paragon ever had. So.
Yeah, it's been really fun working on Ethereal. There's a lot of work to be done. I'm just finishing up with like the first wave tomorrow, and there's like 3 more waves planned.
Oh, God.
So it's been really fun because like sound is what I do. It's what I live for, darling. So it's the most important. Like, it feels so good when people are like, I love this voice, or I love these sound effects, or like when I heard this voice, I knew I had to make them, because that's the feeling I get when I hear like a voice I really like, and that's what like inspires me to do this, because that feeling is so good. It's so good. It's like it's just awesome. It's like a sugar rush, because there are characters that I would never have even discovered if I hadn't known about their voice. So it's just very fun. It's so fun, and I'm meeting a lot of new people. There's like voice actors coming out of the woodwork, and I'm like, where have you been? I could have used you a year ago. So
cool.
it's fun. Hopefully we have a tentative release window of later this year, early next year, but that's of course could change, could be pushed back depending on like quality and stuff like that. But everything is working as intended.
Excellent. Good to hear.
I actually had a couple questions I wanted to ask Try. One was, have you ever wanted to do any voice acting or done any voice acting yourself, or do you just like to kind of manipulate, pull the strings, so to speak?
That's ominous. Try you there, buddy?
Oh, sorry, my internet cut out. Can you repeat that?
So I was just curious if you have ever wanted to do any voice acting. Have you done any voice acting yourself, or are you more kind of behind the scenes?
Man, really making it hard for me not to spoil, aren't you?
Really?
Shit, son.
Okay, so if
I'm not gonna say anything else on
Everybody
that, but
forget
I will.
you heard that.
But in order to be a director, you have to know how to voice act. So like if you want to tell someone how to do their craft, you have to know the craft.
True.
So I haven't been in anything, but I am a qualified voice actor. I've taken classes on like voice acting theory. I've been doing it for about 8 years now. So like I'm pretty good at it. It's just that I'm way more interested in being the director and the engineer. A lot of games and movies and TV shows, the voice director actually does become a voice at some point, simply because they want to do it and they can do it. No one knows the voice better than the voice director. Like there's this game called Battleborn. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, there was a DLC character named Beatrix, and she was like this crazy doctor character, and she's voiced by the voice director for the game.
Cool.
So it pops up a lot more often than people think. But I do love voice acting. I have an embarrassing amount of like me doing impressions of my favorite characters. It's cringy, y'all. But there's a lot of opportunity in Ethereal for me to pop up here and there. Like, who knows? I could be the announcer. You don't know. No one knows.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's fun. It's fun to do. It's fun to be a part of. It's a creative process.
I bet. One other question I had was, how involved were you in the like concepts of these creators? Because I would feel like their voice is very important, and it, like we've talked about the connection between the lore and the voice and the character and stuff like that. So were you present in the concepts of these characters when they were being created, or were you just handed once they were created and said, here, create a voice for them?
I was handed them. I wasn't
Oh,
present
okay.
for these characters. Although things tend to change once a voice is added. So like the voice informs the character and vice versa. So the voice will be out and I'll be like, so like I thought this was a little meh, so I like spruced it up a bit, added a voice line reference to it, and they'll be like, oh okay. It doesn't change the character, but it gives them depth and layers. Because like when Marina was pitched to me, they were like, she's a princess who is curious, she's been taken to a new world, and that's it. There you go. And I was like, okay, so let's work some magic. So now she's still that, but she's also like intelligent. She's also very strong. She's had prior training. Like a lot of little details that aren't in the lore can be represented in the voice lines. And she has that thing with Talos, which is hilarious. But yeah, a lot of times I don't help make the character. They hand me the character and they say go crazy, and I go crazy. And the end result is the voice line.
Right on.
That's really, really cool.
Thank you.
I will say that I've been saying Malaya was best girl for a long time, but after reading all the lore, I was kind of gravitating more towards Escheron. Kind of excited to hear his voice lines, but after hearing Malaya's voice lines, I am back on the Malaya bandwagon full force. She just sounds so anguished in her voice. I love it. So anguished and tortured and just, so good. So good.
She's awesome. Malaya was actually the first voice I did. So like, I'm always learning, even during this process, even during this project. So even in the span of time between Malaya and now, I'm like, oh my god, I could have done that. Like, you know what I mean? But thankfully no one notices things unless they really look for them. So I'm like, okay, I'm safe. Malaya I actually had to bring her actress back in because I forgot to write a joke for her. So she doesn't have a joke, and I was like, that's kind of fitting with her character.
Know, right?
That's what I was thinking. She doesn't seem very jokey.
She's not. But so yeah, it's been very, very fun, and Malaya is best girl. Fight me. She just needs a hug.
She just needs a hug. Nobody wants to hug her with those claws.
Some cocoa and just like a Netflix binge. She just needs love.
Oh.
All right, you guys have anything else to say about the topic?
I'm good.
Tricolor, any final remarks?
We have a lot of other stuff coming out, so brace yourself.
Right on. All right, so let's move on to plugs. Tricolor, you got anything you want to plug?
You can visit my Twitter in the description. So yeah, that's it. I just want to plug my Twitter.
Mandi?
I actually am working on a video. Like I was talking about with my back injury, it's been a little difficult to get done. So hopefully it will be out by the time For the Minions airs or very shortly afterwards. But yes, I am working on a video.
Right on. Hopefully I can get a video done too. That is going to be it for this week, folks. Thank you for joining us once again. I hope you guys enjoyed that, listening to that interview as much as we enjoyed conducting that interview. It's been a crazy ride, people. I mean, we're 40 episodes in. I never thought that we would be doing this for 40 episodes. And just some of the crazy opportunities we've had. This one being ranking up there among the top.
Oh, yeah.
And we really appreciate you guys coming along with us for the ride. From the bottom of my heart, I know a lot of you guys in the comments will often say that Mandi and I are kind of the heart and soul of the current Paragon community, but no, it's everybody right now. I mean, we're all in this together. That if there's one good thing about Paragon dying, it's how it brought so many people together that shared such a love for a video game, which seems silly on the surface, unless you were in love with Paragon like we were. We all understand, and that's why we all support each other. But for now, this is the For the Minions crew signing off. You guys have a good one. ManGoose.